So recently, there's been this new AI chatbot that's been hitting the markets and causing stocks to fall, and its name is DeepSeek. DeepSeek was developed by a Chinese company, and right now is rivaling the American AI chatbots in terms of popularity. And according to Wikipedia, on January 27th, it actually surpassed ChatGPT in terms of popular downloads. So in this game, DeepSeek has the white pieces, and it has decided to challenge ChatGPT with the black pieces in a game of chess. DeepSeek begins with pawn to e4. We have pawn to e5 from ChatGPT, knight to f3, knight to c6, and bishop to b5. And this is known as the Roy Lopez opening, which DeepSeek proudly told me, and it was trying to flex its opening knowledge. So we have a6, which is the main move, bishop to a4, knight to f6, castles by DeepSeek, and we have bishop to e7, rook e1, b5, bishop b3, and d6. And all of these moves have been played thousands of times by grandmasters. And if I show this position to you, you probably think that this is a game between, let's say, Hikaru and Magnus Carlsen, because it looks like two grandmasters playing. But instead, we have two chatbots who just barely know some opening knowledge. It's clear that both of them have studied all the way until, let's say, move 15, but soon, as you will see, memes start appearing on the board. After d6, we have c3, preparing to expand in the center with d4. After c3, we have castles. And now we have h3. And this is the top engine move, blocking the bishop from coming here. And now we have bishop to b7. Now, DeepSeek continues with its plan after c3 to push d4, so we have d4, e takes d4, c takes c4, and right here, DeepSeek has a big white center with two central pawns, but ChatGPT has all of its pieces developed. And after e takes d4, c takes d4, we have rook to e8, knight to c3, bishop to f8. And I can't really explain this move. Maybe it's trying to guard the g7 square, but to be honest, moving the bishop back is just not a very good move, and it's not supported by the engine either. As you can see, the engine says it's +3 here, but maybe ChatGPT was saying that, oh, it opens my rook. So right here after bishop to f8, DeepSeek plays bishop to g5. We have h6, and the bishop goes back, and now we have g5 from ChatGPT, and this is just overly aggressive, because right here, instead of moving back, white can actually play knight takes g5, sacrificing the knight for two of the pawns and having a wide exposed king for ChatGPT, and just a long-term kingside attack. But instead, DeepSeek is conservative and plays bishop to g3, moving the bishop back. Now this bishop on f8 finds a home on g7 with bishop to g7. We have queen to d2. And now we have knight to a5, the best move from ChatGPT. And as you can see here, ChatGPT is the one now having the initiative with all of its pieces moving forward. The bishop coming to g7, and now the knight going to a5 and preferring this bishop, and also with plans to jump to c4. So this is why the engine is giving ChatGPT a slight advantage. After knight to a5, we have bishop to c2, not allowing the bishop to be captured. We have knight to c4 attacking the queen, and this is the first real test of DeepSeek, seeing if DeepSeek will see that its queen is under attack. And it truly does, moving the queen to c1. Now we have queen to h5 going after that bishop. And after knight to h5, we have knight to e2, with this knight guarding this bishop and planning to capture it back. So ChatGPT goes with its plan of going for the bishop pair, and instead of capturing with this knight, which seems really obvious, DeepSeek plays f takes g3. And I just can't really explain this move. It kind of weakens your own pawn structure. But after f takes g3, ChatGPT blunders with the move knight to e3, just hanging on knight in one move. But instead of capturing the knight, DeepSeek sees that it can move the queen and moves the queen to d2. After queen to d2, ChatGPT sees that a pawn has been hanging and plays bishop takes e4, capturing the free pawn. And right here, you can't really take the knight, or else you're going to hang this bishop. So right here, instead of taking the knight with the queen, we have knight e takes e3. Knight e takes e3. Just capturing the knight and just blowing the knight off the board from DeepSeek against ChatGPT. And this is just a very cruel move. We have queen to d7 from ChatGPT. Rook to f1, just moving the rook out of the way, out of the protection of the knight, and this is a really bad move because ChatGPT finds bishop takes c2, and I don't think DeepSeek can see that the knight can move backwards, so we have queen takes c2, and rook takes e3, and now ChatGPT has a nice advantage. But after that, DeepSeek will not go down without a fight. So after rook takes e3, we have queen takes e3. And now DeepSeek is just up a rook. The queen became a horse and galloped to e3, capturing the rook. After queen takes e3, we have rook to f8 from ChatGPT. Now we have rook takes f8, capturing the rook. And I think DeepSeek was quite proud of this move, saying check, attacking the king, and the king captures the rook. And right here, maybe DeepSeek felt a little bad for ChatGPT by making so many illegal moves, capturing a knight illegally, and then capturing a rook illegally. So DeepSeek plays queen to f3, annihilating its own knight. Now we have queen to e7, and DeepSeek plays queen takes e7, check. And instead of taking back with the king, which everyone would expect, we have queen takes e7. ChatGPT is not playing anymore. ChatGPT is now up a queen. After queen takes c7, we have rook to f1. And after rook to f1, we have queen to e3 check. After queen to e3, king to h1. And now the queen just takes this free pawn. And DeepSeek plays king to g1. DeepSeek possibly realizing that it is vastly outnumbered and ChatGPT has a queen. After king to g1, we have queen to e3 check again, going after this pawn. And this time, DeepSeek plays king to h2. We have queen to d3 attacking this rook. And after queen to d3, we have rook to f3 attacking the queen. And ignore the eval bar because it thinks that it's always white to move, but instead it is black and ChatGPT to move. We have queen to e4, not taking the free pawn. Queen to c4, actually. Queen to c4, not taking the free pawn. And after king to g3, we have queen to d5. And now DeepSeek really decides to take drastic measures and plays rook to f5, attacking the queen, and asking ChatGPT if it can see that its queen is in danger. ChatGPT says, yes, I see my queen is in danger, but no, I do not see that your rook is hanging, so I'm just going to take this pawn and a2. And here DeepSeek sees that it just lost a pawn, and it wants revenge, so it plays rook to f7 check, sacrificing the rook. And after rook takes f7 check, we have king takes f7, and now DeepSeek is now just down a queen and a bishop. After this, it plays king to g4. The queen goes to e2, giving a check, teleporting over the b2 pawn. We have king takes h6. I just do not know how to explain this move. King takes h6. We have queen to e6 check. And then we have king to h5. After king to h5, we have queen to f5. g4. And right here, this is a really bad move because that is mate. But I don't think neither ChatGPT nor DeepSeek see that it is mate and know how to checkmate in this game. So after that, after g4, we have queen to f3. King takes g5, capturing this free pawn. Queen to f6 check. and king to h5. And right here, queen to h6 is checkmate. That's checkmate, and the king has nowhere to go. But instead, ChatGPT plays queen to g5 and declares that a checkmate has happened and it has won the game. But right here, you have not seen all the plot twists, and we have g takes g5. And ChatGPT has lost its queen. Little did ChatGPT know, pawns can now capture forward, according to DeepSeek. But right here, we have queen to f6. ChatGPT spawns a second queen on the board. And if you're keeping track, this is the second queen. The first queen spawned on e7. And right here, we have king to g4, just not seeing that the queen can be captured. And now, ChatGPT plays queen to f6, check. So, DeepSeek just plays g takes f6, winning the queen again. But right here, ChatGPT is very determined and plays queen to f5, check. This is the third queen it has spawned. And after queen to f5 check, we have e takes f5. And now we have queen to f3 check. Again checking the king. And again, the queen can be captured, and this is the fourth queen ChatGPT has spawned onto the board. And we have king to g5, and ChatGPT really just hates its queen. I don't know why. So it just plays queen to f4 check. Again, the queen can be captured. But instead, the king runs out to h5. And there are many ways to win this game. Queen to h6 check, and you can just gobble up all these pawns. Or you can try to mate the white king. But right here, instead, it plays queen to f2, not giving a check. And now we have king to g6. This is just an illegal move. The king cannot meet each other. The kings never like each other, so they can never be side to side. But in this version of chess, the kings can like each other, and they can be side to side. So after king to g6, we have queen to f3, and little did ChatGPT know, it was not prepared for this plot twist, and it thought that it could spawn 4 queens throughout the span of this game. But DeepSeek decides that it has had enough of ChatGPT's shenanigans with spawning queens, and plays queen takes g7, check. And the only legal move here for ChatGPT is king to e8. And right here, after some thought, DeepSeek plays queen to e7, checkmate. And DeepSeek, the new AI, has officially defeated ChatGPT in a game of chess.